Well, can you guess what I did this week? Siding.
Siding and siding.
Good morning, Monday. And we hit 500 subs. It's pretty exciting, right? Yeah, I mean, it's a small mile marker, but I appreciate it. I really do. Anywho, where we're gonna get started this morning is this little pile of bricks behind me. I want to get that moved out of the way so the people that want to move or the people who are going to be moving the propane tanks can get them out easily. And yeah, so we'll start there. You know that whole 500 mile marker thing? It really doesn't mean, well, it does mean that I can start applying for different things. To me personally, the number 500 doesn't really register, right? You know, you had 100 subscribers or whatever. It didn't really resonate with me, but oddly enough, random numbers resonated, like 307 or 327 or 454, and then, you know, hopefully by the end of today we'll hit 502. You know, all these numbers, what do they mean? Cubic inch displacement, and every one has a different story behind it. 307, a 1970 Camaro that I had. 440, I mean, my favorite of all time car that I've ever owned was a 69 Dodge Charger RT 440. Oh, I love that car. You know, some of you might not know, that was a gearhead for a good long time. I'm a master certified mechanic. I spun wrenches for 17 years. Then what are you doing building houses? Well, for me, I lost the challenge. The challenge as a mechanic just wasn't there for me anymore. I'd go to work, I'd go through the motions, I'd get better, I'd get faster, I'd learn more, but I was really getting bored with the whole scenario. So my last contract on ice was to get me out of the mechanical world. Come back stateside, debt-free, and ready to try something new. So that's what I did. In a roundabout way, ended up in engineering. So I'm also a trained PLC programmer. Yeah, that opened some pretty awesome doors for me. But then I learned that I had to sell my soul in order to make that successful. So I decided, well, I want to work with my hands again, get back to my roots, and get back to a position where I can, you know, help more people. That's really what gets me up in the morning. I made a phone call. I told a realtor that I knew that I was going to go full-time with my home inspecting business. And then she said, well, my husband's hiring and he's a builder. And I said, all right. So I went and worked for him. Took all of my basic knowledge of construction and it just ignited me in the whole realm of construction. I dove deep, man. I studied and researched, and I went off the deep end and started really learning about construction. And by working for that builder, I learned a ton on high-end finished carpentry. Yeah, and you really, well, as foreman, really opened my eyes to a lot. So, did that for a while until I do my own thing. And with the support of my loving wife and daughter, well, she didn't have much of a choice, did she? My daughter, that is. I broke out on my own and started doing my own thing. And then Frankie fell in my lap. And, well, the rest you pretty much know. Good morning, it's Tuesday. And today we are going to get siding on this building. But first, we need to have a couple termination blocks put in because we're gonna come down with a set of stairs through here and kind of sort out where we're going to have our elevations and all that. So I want to make sure I have flashing exposed in the staircase section. That way, you know, as snow sits on top of the stairs and they don't get cleaned off, it's not just sitting against the siding. Although this walkway is going to have to be cleared during the winter, not only to protect the siding, but to get access to the propane tanks that we have moved, which is, it's been a long story. Anyway, they're moved, they're where they need to be now, and that's great. So, what I'm thinking is I'll have a block come down to about to the bottom of that nail that I need to pull, and then that will give roughly about 5-6 inches of exposure there. Bring another block in right here, and looks like my marks show the next tread will end here, so then that siding will come across here and we'll bring something in. Nope, I don't want to do that. That's the edge of the stair, so we'll bring that down, bring that over. We'll come down here and then covers up this tape, it covers up the felt, and then we'll come across here. So we'll have stair, stair. Looks like the next stair is right there. So we need a block here. If that stair is there, we'll take that dimension there and we'll put it here, and we'll put another block right there.
One hour later.
I promised it would happen, and it happened. Got siding on the north face of the building. Man, it felt like it took forever to get here. We finally got it on. End of day Tuesday. Finally have some courses up. And it's going pretty smooth. Had a little interruption there from Steve. That's all right. We should make a real solid dent in this thing tomorrow. Oh well. I'll see you No, you'll see me in the morning. Yeah. Still confused by that whole thing. All right. Good night. Morning. It's early. I actually got out of the house on a decent time this morning, even before the little one even woke up. So, because I want to put a real hurting on this siding today. I think we can. It's still rained most of the night. It's supposed to clear up. Still really cloudy and gloomy. If the rain can hold off, I think we can do quite a bit today. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Well, good morning. And that's what it takes to set up to do siding. Been here, there I go, looking at my non-existent watch again. I don't know, half an hour or so. And that's what it took. Let's have a look here. Almost an hour it takes to set up. And you know, those things you got to kind of budget in when you're trying to do a project like this. So if you're gonna decide what you're gonna do for a task for the day, make sure you factor in how much time it takes to set up for that day and to tear down. So this hour I invested here, I'm gonna have to invest, you know, a similar amount of time to tear it all down at the end of the day. Because I'm not gonna leave my tools and materials just, you know, willy-nilly on, especially on someone else's property. So luckily the folks that live here are super generous and they're allowing me to use part of their driveway here. And we're gonna get right after the siding again. per usual. Didn't get as far as I wanted to yesterday, but you know, it's fine. We're gonna start back up on this side and just work our way up. I wonder where I'm gonna put you today. Maybe I'll start you down low. Yeah, let's put you down low. No, gotta make sure I have my coffee and water. Good morning. As you saw, I spent pretty late night last night. Again, it was Thursday, so the girls had their outing that they like to do, and so I stayed as late as I could. So this morning, we're in the field. So what does that mean? It means it's square cuts on all ends. There's nothing in the main body of it that have obstructions. You have to wrap around or flash or anything like that. So it's just straight cuts and go, which is the fastest period of time that you do when you're doing the siding. And yeah, so we'll get pretty far today. I see 2 days to finish this wall. You know, that's second coat of stain, nail off, rearranging the brackets for the loma pole, doing the little detail ends on the end and all that. So I'm thinking 2 days. So this week is not gonna be the final week on the siding. I don't think there's any other prep to do. I'll finish this row out, put another row up, and then stain and nail off and continue going up. And that's the way I like to work it. So as I get a section completed at the elevation my staging's at, I will do everything that needs to be done at that stage, so that I'm not rearranging the picks, I'm not rearranging the scaffolding and spending all that time to go back and forth. Do everything I can at that elevation and then move on. So with that said, I need to prep some stain for the trim, and I'm just about out of the stain for the main body. I know it doesn't really look like it on camera, but there is a difference in the trim color versus the siding color. Music, time lapse, let's go.
Ba ba da ba 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 ba
There, we completed the field, and it's a good point to stop for today. The next step is going to be a bunch of, well, not bunch, 2 different exhaust fan standoffs, and seeing the notch around that. And quite honestly, I'm not sure I have the, the gumption to go through all that. And if I start it, I won't stop until I end it. So it'll be dark and late, and well, it's Friday and I've had enough. So with all that said, thanks so much for stopping by High Peaks Home.
He's a maniac over there, right?